Today, we're diving into a recap of a film titled Enhanced. But first, make sure to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell. The movie opens with George, a covert government agent, tailing a dangerous subject and his crew from a distance. When George and a hand-picked team of agents storm a building, they come across Joseph, disguised as a janitor. George reveals his federal ties and urges Joseph to go with them. Realizing who they are, Joseph hurls his broom and flees. He is cornered in a storage room. Using his special powers, Joseph leaps upward and crashes through the rooftop. The team chases him, eventually pinning him on the roof and taking him down with a custom taser. He's injected with a serum that suppresses his powers and brought to a hidden facility. George then meets with Captain Williams, who heads the program and stresses the threat posed by genetically modified individuals. George had joined this mission to eliminate such threats, though Joseph had been elusive. Williams warns him of the deceptive nature of these beings and mentions a rogue one still unaccounted for. The identity of this suspect remains a mystery, though their abilities resemble those of enhanced humans. Elsewhere in the city, Anna, also enhanced, works at an auto shop and partners with Danny. She helps him secure a forged passport to avoid being flagged by authorities. But things spiral when Marco and his men confront Danny, demanding extra payment. A fight breaks out, triggering Anna to unleash her abilities and knock everyone out. One stray bullet meant for Anna fatally strikes Danny. Afterwards, Anna contacts law enforcement, grabs her passport, and disappears. George's unit traces the call, suspecting an enhanced subject was involved. They use a special tracker watch calibrated to enhance signals to follow Anna. While collecting supplies, a man approaches, claiming to be on her side. Not trusting him, she blasts him away with her powers, steals a truck, and attempts to escape George and Scott. Taking side roads, she drives through a farm field. She's chased. George commands his team to close in on her position. A drone is launched to monitor her, but an energy blast knocks out all electronics, including her vehicle. With agents surrounding her, Anna steps out as instructed. Scott finds her passport, and George grills her on her China trip and Danny's death. She asserts her innocence and insists she tried to help Danny, but George doubts her. His agents trigger a surge in their watches, forming a protective barrier to contain her. Despite that, she breaks free and hides out in a cabin. George follows her trail. Anna ambushes him and gains the upper hand, but George uses a flashbang to blind her and hits her with a taser. While readying to inject her, another enhanced man, David, surprises and incapacitates George. David relocates both of them, restraining George. Anna recognizes David as the person who previously broke into the lab and enabled another enhanced subject's escape. After George regains consciousness, David interrogates him about the detained enhanced individuals. George declines to cooperate and David considers executing him. Anna steps in and negotiates for time until sunrise, after which David leaves. Curious, Anna asks George why he chased her. He accuses her of being a ruthless killer, referencing her record of murders including her therapist and parents. Anna counters that she was taken at 4, subjected to experiments and trained by a secret agency called Psi. She explains that refusal to obey kill orders meant torture or execution. Her therapist was murdered in front of her for calling her by name rather than number, thus humanizing her. Although still unsure, George starts suspecting he hasn't been told the full story. The next day, George and Steve trace Anna again and detect an alpha-level signal, contradicting Scott's claim that alpha types don't exist. The truth surfaces when David confronts Scott and easily wipes out the team. Even with a taser and anti-power serum, David is unbothered, killing everyone except Scott, who runs back to base. George pleads with Anna to release him, warning her that David could be behind the recent murders. Doubtful, Anna is suddenly attacked by Joseph, now equipped with a blinking red device. During the ensuing fight, George escapes and injects Joseph with the serum. Learning Joseph was meant to be terminated after capture stuns George. Anna then explains the blinking device is a tool to reprogram enhanced beings, turning them into unwilling weapons. She exposes the government's misuse of these individuals, shattering everything George thought he knew. Moved by Joseph's reaction, George opts to help Anna flee. They escape to the main road where the earlier man reappears and urges them into his vehicle. He introduces himself as Eli and brings them to another enhanced person named Lou. Eli reveals he once worked for Psi as an analyst and had no clue about the unethical practices until David stormed the facility and Lou saved him. Eli explains that the agency was trying to create a super serum by tapping into a dimension with infinite energy and no decay, using David as the source. David, a being from that dimension, cannot age or die, but lost access to his realm once his energy was infused into humans. Eager to reclaim full power, he hunted other enhanced beings, absorbing their energy to reopen the portal. Eli had tried to stop David, but with each kill, David grew stronger. The only hope now is to weaken him so he can't regenerate, then destroy him. George insists on heading back to base to warn the others, convinced they can use weapons against David. Before he can act, David shows up. Eli urges George and Anna to flee through the rear while he and Lou confront David. Their resistance is short-lived as David's strength proves too much. Both Eli and Lou perish. Catching up to George and Anna during their escape, David rips open the car, throws Anna aside, and drops a container on her. After striking a deal with George, David proceeds to headquarters, leaving Anna pinned. Drawing deep from within, Anna powers herself free. As she heads to the base, George engages David in dialogue about his motives. David expresses an intense desire to return home and disdain for everything in this reality. Seeing an opening, George shoves David from the moving vehicle. Undeterred, George speeds off to warn the team about what's coming. However, he is intercepted and detained by guards. Confined but unshaken, George remains committed to stopping David. An alarm suddenly blares, signaling danger. Surveillance shows David tearing through guards effortlessly. Williams sends in a unit of enhanced fighters, but David annihilates them with ease, regaining his strength. As he closes in on Williams and Scott, David kills Williams, issuing a dire warning aimed at Anna, blaming George's meddling. Meanwhile, Anna, undaunted and fierce, challenges David in a brutal showdown. George escapes confinement and activates emergency systems, releasing a power-neutralizing gas. Now stripped of abilities, David becomes vulnerable. Seizing the moment, Anna overpowers the once indestructible being. As David begs for mercy and Anna hesitates, George grabs a weapon and finishes David off himself. What follows is a transformed world both mentally and physically. 4 months pass. George and Anna meet again. Now a mechanic, Anna is given a list of enhanced individuals by George, hinting at the hope of reintegrating them into society. The film then shifts to a different enhanced person, now leading a dull, peaceful life. That serenity is shattered when the doorbell rings. He opens it and finds David at the door, declaring he has something that belongs to him, and that wraps up the movie. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.